Hi, beautifuls. So, I wanted to talk a little bit in this video today about returning to the body. The reason why I think that this is a tricky subject is because I feel like I was outside of my body for years and years and years. I literally feel like I was not even in my own body. Like, I think my consciousness and my awareness was like on everybody else and looking outside of myself and feeling other people's feelings rather than my own. Like, just weird. Like, I just, over the last few years, I've really learned to like return to my body. And the one thing I always did that kept me in my body was singing. I was a professional singer for many, many years. And as a musician, I was always having to be in my body. My body was the instrument. My body was where all of the music came from. And so when I would sing, I was always in my body. When I was a voice teacher and I would teach voice lessons, I was very in my body. But outside of that, I really was like kind of outside of my body. And again, sort of more focused on the outside world than my own self. And I thank God for music and for singing, because it really taught me what it's like to be completely centered in your body. And what that feels like is just to be very connected to your own feelings, your own emotions, identifying how you're feeling, what you're feeling. Um, for me, it might be different for other people, but for me, it's like I feel like I'm very in my guts, you know, like sort of deep into my belly and into my guts. I feel like I'm there and I'm present with my own body and feelings. I'm just very focused in on my own feelings and self, as opposed to worrying about and focusing in on things I can't control. I cannot control how other people feel. I cannot control, it's not my job. My job is to control how I feel, or not control, but be with my own body and present with my body. So yeah, what happens when you pull your awareness and your consciousness back into your body instead of being in everyone else's body, and being outside of yourself, is you do become very magnetic, very alluring, very magnetic, attractive. You start to notice that the whole world is in your reality is very focused in on you. You have an aura, a light, a vibe that's very powerful and very strong. You can walk into a room and all eyes will be on you. You'll be the center. And it's really a vibe thing. I remember Cardi B talking about that. She's like, I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, yeah, there's pretty girls everywhere, but it's a vibe. That's what she was saying. She's like, what I have in terms of like my allure is a vibe. It's something in my energy, and I agree very, very much. And that's why, you really can be any size, you can be any age, you can have any type of look, and you can be the stunner in the room and the most attractive, magnetic person, because it comes down to your vibe, really. And I think like your style and your look and stuff, it's like the cherry on the sundae, but it's your vibe. I think what happens is a lot of times when we do our makeup and we dress up and stuff, it helps to kind of pull us deeper into our body. It helps us to pay more attention to ourselves, to feel more confident, to stand in our frame, which helps us to be more magnetic, alluring. I think the reason why we leave our bodies, it could be all kinds of reasons, trauma that happens. I find for me, it's hard to be in my body if I'm not feeling well. Like if I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling anxious or fearful, it's hard to stay in the body because it hurts. It hurts to sit like in my guts and sit inside my body and my frame and really feel all my feelings and be very connected to myself, not worried about anybody else or what's going on outside of me, just returning to the body. There's times when I'll take off the whole afternoon and just like lay in bed and just be present with my feelings and just sit with my guts, really, and until the darkness passes. And I have my personality, I'm both. I'm definitely dark feminine energy. I'm definitely a bad bitch for sure. I'm a tough cookie, but I also have sort of like a warm and kind of sunshiny demeanor. to me as well. And so I find that, yeah, the darker parts of me, the dark feminine energy, the deeper, darker emotions, I tend to want to leave my body. I tend to want to not be inside of my body and feel that. And I think that explains why people numb themselves with too much alcohol or drugs or, just like being like just whatever it takes to like get them to somehow not feel the pain. But the thing is, if you feel the pain and the dark emotions and you connect to your dark feminine energy, which again, even the most sunshiny, woman has, you will find that, yeah, like the darker emotions, you accept them, you embrace them, you sit with them, you learn to become comfortable and kind of neutral with them. They're just a part of you. And I find that they leave, actually. I find they pass through. And all you're really left with underneath that is peace. I find love, neutrality, which I think is really what we are. We're just love, beings of love, and you sort of connect to that. But so eventually it starts to feel good to be in your body. I don't, for example, do drugs. I do not drink to excess. I'll absolutely go out and have a couple drinks, but nothing too crazy, because I like to be in my body. I like to be sober-minded and aware and present and with my feelings and deep in my guts. Again, that is when I am my most magnetic, alluring. I'm the most attractive and magnetic in my vibe and in my energy when I'm deep in my body and frame. And you will find so many people are so disconnected to their own bodies. You can probably relate at different points in your life, but when you really meet someone that's deep in their guts and deep in their body and frame and just present with themselves and really accepting themselves and loving themselves and being not afraid to sit with themselves and the dark heart emotions and the fear and the anxiety and the disappointment and the feelings of failure, the feelings of not good enough, the feelings of unworthy. The person that is willing to sit with those emotions and abide with them, you create this like beautiful relationship with yourself. And I've come to find, like, I love to have friends and I love to be social when I want to be. I'm also introverted, but I definitely have like an active social life when I want to. But I find I don't really want a best friend. I've had many best friends in my life, but I don't really crave a best friend anymore because I am my own best friend. You become your own best friend. And so you may be a social person, but you'll just find like that deepest spot of like bestie goes to you. And it's not like you can't attract more best friends in or have that in your life, but it becomes something. It's like, again, a cherry on a sundae. It's not something you really need. You don't really need friends, actually, because you become your own best friend and you're just so connected to yourself. So a return to the body, I think, is essential. It's something that happens on a spiritual path, but it's essential just for all the fun things of life. I mean, who doesn't want to be more magnetic? It's essential because when you return to your own body, you can enjoy your own body and the pleasures of your own body. The endless pleasures, intimacy, food, laying in bed and watching a movie, just like those wonderful, simple pleasures of life. You're deep and connected to your body and you're able to enjoy the pleasures of life so much more. The benefits are endless. So yeah, it's just something I practice. It's something I believe in. It's something that has been really helpful to me. I hope that my work and my channel is helpful for other people to not only love their body, but really return to their body, the most magnificent, miraculous machine and avatar that ever existed, the human body. Bye, guys. Much love.